Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this is Hopeful Chewbacca, back at the Church of Chewbacca, and today we're going to go over the reward for the Starter Showdown 2, which is the Signature Series Edwin Encarnacion. It is a 95 overall card for the Toronto Blue Jays, and he plays first base. So essentially, to unlock him, you have to complete the Starter Showdown 2. I'm not going to do a tutorial video for this showdown. I looked at it. It's pretty basic. It's easy. It's only, I think, like 6 missions total to unlock it. It's like the starter one. I don't think it gets above like rookie or veteran difficulty. If you guys would like to see a tutorial for the Starter Showdown 2, let me know in the comments down below, and I will create a tutorial for you guys. Or if you have any questions about it, I can just answer your questions, comments, concerns, anything like that. Also, hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, hit that notification bell so you know whenever I'm uploading more videos, as well as comment down below what you guys think about this Edwin Encarnacion. Let's get into his Chewy review. Edwin Encarnacion. The big, powerful first baseman for the Toronto Blue Jays, Edwin Encarnacion, has been an absolute stud when it comes to hitting the ball hard and deep. For the last decade, he had seasons of 5 years in a row of 34 plus home runs with the Toronto Blue Jays, as well as 3 or 4 years after that with 30 plus home runs once he left the Toronto Blue Jays. It makes sense that this is a Toronto Blue Jays card for his signature series because he had probably his best offensive years with the Toronto. The card itself is a 95 overall signature series where he's a first baseman. He's right-handed throwing, right-handed batting. He has a secondary position of third base. Nowadays on the Chicago White Sox, the current team that he plays for, he actually is probably more of just a DH, a designated hitter. He definitely doesn't play in the field that much. Maybe in some interleague games this year he'll play some first base, but he definitely does not touch third base anymore. The first base, third base were typically whenever he was with the Toronto Blue Jays. Some of the other guys on that team that were studs when he played with the Blue Jays was like Joey Batista, Josh Donaldson for a couple years. They had overlap. So he definitely played on some teams with other guys that mashed. He also has diamond hitting, common defense. So as with all Signature Series cards, I'm going to go over his career stats line here. He batted .263, he had an on-base percentage of .352, a slugging of .499, an OPS of .851, an OPS plus of .125. He has 1,807 hits. He has 414 home runs. He has 1,242 RBIs, and he's a WAR of 36. He's also been selected to be in the All-Star game 3 times. And honestly, with that 414 home runs, I know he's older. I think he's like 38 or 39 years old. If he can play a couple more years as a designated hitter and hit maybe 25, 30 home runs, I mean, he's not going to do it this year with a 60-game season, but maybe with a 162-game season. If he can stay on some rosters and be a designated hitter, and he hits 500 home runs, there's a case that Edwin could be in the Hall of Fame. Do I think he's a Hall of Fame player? Personally, no, I don't. I think almost as a designated hitter, especially with the way the home run ball is nowadays, you should probably hit 550 to 600 home runs. But to get in the 500 club, for the most part, kind of at least guarantees you a look to get into the Hall of Fame. So we'll kind of see what happens. I mean, he is 86 home runs away still, but he's been hitting still like over 25, close to 30 home runs, even as an older player. So we'll see what happens. Looking at this card's attributes, he has 91 contact versus righty, 90 contact versus lefty, 104 power versus righty, 103 power versus lefty, 90 vision, 103 discipline, 95 clutch. So he has great batting attributes. He has a very glitchy swing. He produces a lot of deep fly balls. He's always hit the ball hard, even with his live series card. He has actually one of my favorite swings in the game for a right-handed batter. The problem with Edwin Encarnacion, and the problem it's always been, even in his live series card, is the man can't field. I mean, he might as well not even wear a glove when he goes out there. You could probably get more production in this game if you just put an orange cone at first base or third base than you get from Edwin Encarnacion. He has 50 fielding, 63 arm strength, 45 arm accuracy, 51 reaction, 51 speed, 32 stealing with 16 base running aggressiveness. So he's not that slow. His live series, I think, is like 10 speed, maybe under 10 speed. So 51 speed is not that bad. So honestly, this Edwin Encarnacion can definitely be used as a pinch hitter. He's fast enough to run for himself. He can definitely be like the fifth man on your bench when it comes to a pinch hitter. Let's say you get into extra innings and you still need to use a pinch hitter. He can definitely face a right or left-handed pitcher and be successful because it's kind of like an equal split. So that's kind of nice. But defensively, this guy's terrible. I mean, I don't even know where you could hide him in the field. At first base, I don't have to have too much fielding, but there's just so many other options at first base that you can get the same amount of power and hitting attributes with a much better fielder. I mean, the Harmon Killebrew, Jim Tomei, like these guys have just as much power and can play first base better and are also for free. Let's look at his quirks. His quirks are hitting machine, bomber, 20/20 vision, walker, and pressure cooker. So he has the good hitting quirks. Like I said, this guy's just lining up to be a pinch hitter for most guys' teams. That's what I would go with as Edwin Encarnacion. Now, to give him his Chewy rating here, I think that with his batting, he is a 4 Chewy card and maybe 4.5 Chewies just because he is kind of such an equal split righties or left-handed pitching. But he can't field to save his life. So he'd be like 1 fielding in Chewies. He'd probably be 4 hitting in Chewies. But you're going to use this card as a pinch hitter regardless, I think, especially if you're a newer player. You're not going to use him as starter in the field. And I think he will be a very good pinch hitter for a lot of people. So I'm going to lean the Chewy rating more towards his hitting than his fielding because he's going to be hitting mostly and not fielding. So I'm going to give him 3 Chewies. I think that's a fair rating for this Edwin Encarnacion, especially because he's for free. It should only take you like maybe half an hour to play the Starter Showdown 2 to get this Edwin Encarnacion, and you get a 95 overall. So I think he has great value when it comes to how many stubs he costs because it's free to enter the showdown. So it's essentially 100% free card, 95 overall, that somebody like me that has a super stacked lineup that's pretty much 99 overall is probably still going to put him on the bench as a pinch hitter because I like his swing, he has good attributes, and he's actually fast enough to run for himself with a 51 speed. So the final decision's 3 Chewies. Alright guys, that wraps up the Chewy review of this Edwin Encarnacion signature series from the Toronto Blue Jays. First baseman, can also play third base. You guys let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about his Chewy rating, whether you guys agree or disagree. You guys have a great day and be safe.